Ladies and gentlemen, today in life with Avamarie. Da-da-da. We need to cut down these nails and take them off before I break the rest of them as painfully as I broke this one. Ooh. And while I take off these nails, I'm going to tell you the story of how Chemo really screwed my nails up. I'm genuinely not concerned with preserving the length of my natural nails. So I'm literally just chopping. Making sure I don't smack myself in the eye. Let's file off the top layer. Then I can get into the story. I'm a little frazzled today. I'm just tired. No, I don't have goggles. Ow. That was definitely my skin. That took a lot. June 2022. Something told me that I probably won't be coming to get my nails done for a while, so just go get one last set. When I got to Chemo, the nurse told me that I would need to be mindful of cuts and bacteria and infections, so it probably would be best to not get my nails done. Okay, that's fine, no problem. Chemo can't keep a bad bitch down. I can do my own gel X at home. Every single cycle of chemo, I had a new set. I told you, cancer can't keep a bad bitch down. And when I showed up with a new set every time, the infusion nurse assigned to me would ask, are my nails still attached? Excuse me? Why wouldn't they be? Sometime around my 5th cycle of chemo, my nail beds started to hurt and I noticed they were getting dark. So I didn't put any tips on them. And I just did a regular gel set with like some gold leaf. I go to my last cycle of chemo, ring the bell, all the good stuff. Then exactly a week later, shit hits the fan. My partner was at work and I was home alone trying to make soup with whatever leftover things was in the fridge, like chicken and veggies and stuff. One of my stims is rubbing my fingertips together. So while doing that, I feel my nail finger bed. I feel my nail bed get pulled away from the nail plate. Instant panic. Instant panic, instant tears. Not sure why, but my first instinct after crying was to make a TikTok about it. No, I'm not a record yourself crying kind of person. I'm traumatized and panicking, and I've stopped crying enough to record this video. Specifically this nail, it's coming off. I promise you I'm gonna wake up in the morning and not have a fucking fingernail there. I'm gonna send my doctor a message. I don't know. It was my way of getting out information before YouTube. So yeah, I made a TikTok. Y'all, the soup is still on the stove. So I call my mom and she flies over to my house in like less than 20 minutes. She finishes the soup for me and we try to bandage up my fingertips. Pressure from having them bandaged up kind of like relieved the pain a little bit. Because it's after 10 p.m., I knew that I wasn't going to get my oncologist or anyone on my onco team. So I sent the message through the portal and I knew they'd see it first thing in the morning. Warm water, white vinegar, and tea tree oil. Using equal parts warm water and vinegar. My friend said I say vinegar like Elmo.
Onions, garlic, celery, balsamic vinegar.
Tomato paste.
That's a big word for Elmo.
Using warm water and vinegar, I would soak my nails in that until it was just cool water at that point. Just not like tolerably warm anymore, if I'm making any sense at all. I don't think I am, but I feel like somebody out there is going to understand what I'm trying to say. Take them out of the vinegar water solution thingy, let them dry completely, and then using an applicator bottle, I would take tea tree oil. Not straight tea tree oil. You're supposed to mix it with the carrier oil. Please learn how to use essential oils. But tea tree oil in the applicator bottle thingy, I'm going to use this finger as an example. I would apply the, come on, don't embarrass me today. I would apply the tea tree oil around the cuticle and then around the nail bed and in between the nail bed and the nail plate, since there was literally space. Like on some nails you can look and see to the back beneath my nail. Shit makes my skin crawl. Oh my gosh. There was bleeding, there was oozing, there was pus, and the slightest touch was like the most painful thing. And I'm clumsy. I knock my hands on things like 11 times a day. So you can imagine the pain I was constantly in as this lasted a few months. I spent my birthday with ugly, stubby, fat fingers and no nail designs. It was so disgusting. That lash gel manicure eventually grew out and got cut off. This was also happening to my toenails, but as I was constantly wearing compression socks, that compression kind of alleviated the pain, so I wasn't really noticing much. Oh, the hot flash. I have train cases full of nail stuff. You already saw the dust collector in the e-file. These are just my little random tools. And then I have polishes and dip powders and brushes. I'm not a nail tech. I'm a neurodivergent person that goes all the fuck out once I find something I'm good at. About 6 months after all that goes down, I'm finally cleared to get my nails done again. I just gotta be mindful of getting cut and infections and stuff. That was totally fine because the way my nails grew back, I couldn't trust anybody to touch them. So I went back to doing my gel X myself. My fingertips and nail beds have changed shape throughout this whole process. I have a few club-ish looking fingernails. A few of my nail beds physically got wider, like wider. What's now my fingertip, like right here, right above that metal point, that used to be underneath my nail. The nail plate is only connected on like the bottom half of the nail bed. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Like the natural smile line thing looks very unnatural. It's giving like Joker grin. Not so much smile line. It's all the way down, like in the middle, okay? One of my toes looks like that too. And I used to have a pinky toenail, like a full-blown, half-inch wide pinky toenail. I just woke up from a nap to this. This is my pinky toenail from my right toe. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm just happy it happened while I was asleep and I didn't see it or feel it.
Send fucking help.
Now I have what I can only call a talon. 2 talons, one on each toe. I hope the 2 of them grow out of that eventually. I'm talking about my toenails like some misbehaving twins. I hid my fingers and hands every chance I got. My very first shoot with you, Serrana, had on blue gloves. And I did a partnership with Sir Vivant Collection. And I wore green gloves for that video. I don't know why I decided to smell that. I just very curious. The intrusive thoughts kicked all the way in. Not 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Luckily and thankfully, one of my good friends became a nail tech during the pandemic, and I trust her enough to understand how gentle she needs to be with my post-chemo nails. I've been seeing her since last August, I think. She hasn't disappointed me yet, but I'll probably go back to Gel X soon. I have too much stuff to not do my own nails. We flashing, we hot flashing. Well, I don't think anything would have prevented this either way because chemo gon' chemo. I do think this would have helped. Cooling gloves. And cooling booties, but the cooling system. Did I know this? Yes and no. Someone told me to get cooling gloves and cooling booties, but no one told me why. You can't just tell me to do something. If you tell me to put lidocaine on my port because it will help numb it for when it's time to put the needle in, that makes sense. You tell me to put on cooling gloves and cooling booties and don't tell me why, I'm most likely not going to do it. I didn't do it. Chill. All I really remember about the cooling system, when I asked my oncologist, she said that if I started them, I would have to use it from the first cycle and then continue using them every cycle throughout chemo. It was bad enough I was going to chemo. I genuinely don't think I wanted to do anything else but just go to chemo and go home. So I definitely didn't want to have to think about cooling gloves and booties and all that stuff every single time. So I sat down to edit this video and I realized that the last part didn't save or something. So while I attempt to fix this funky nail, as in, I don't know, get it off, I'm gonna finish the story. This is the nail file I have on hand. I'm sure I have other nail files in my nail train bag kit thing. I just don't want to go digging for that. My room's a mess. I'm packing. A lot is happening. I hope to get it cleaned in the next couple days. Now, back to the story. Cooling gloves. My oncologist recommended that I get a cooling cap to help with 40 to 60% of the hair loss, but my hair is already fine, so might as well let it go. But I say that to say I never made the association between the cooling cap and the cooling gloves, that it would potentially save whatever's beneath them. If I had to redo chemo, I would definitely get the cooling gloves and booties. If you learn anything from me, just get all the cooling things. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative and helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things.